I'm Eitan Weinstein.
And I'm Naor Menninger. And you're listening to Two Nice Jewish Boys.
This podcast is made in collaboration with the Jewish Journal.
Most Israelis are drafted to the IDF when they turn 18. For many of them, the years in the military involve extreme stress, frustration, and sometimes real-life danger. It's no wonder that the first thing most Israelis do when they finish their service is to go abroad for a trip that lasts anywhere between 3 to 12 months, minimum. Alongside that trip comes a need for money, of course. So some become waiters, other bartenders, but in Tel Aviv of 2019, it just isn't enough to make ends meet. Surely not for the big trip abroad. The solution? Carts. If you're an American and you happen to go into a shopping mall, you might have noticed them. Mall carts manned by well-groomed, young, really good-smelling Israelis selling peculiar products like hair straighteners and remote control helicopters. But the most famous or infamous of them all are the Dead Sea carts. And what you might at first say is an innocent business or even praise as an entrepreneurial endeavor has some rather shady elements to it, and that's putting it lightly. Tal Badichi grew up in Israel and moved to America after the army to work in the Dead Sea carts. Like many others, she did pretty well for herself. Now she's back in Israel, and she's written a book revealing all the dirty secrets behind the under-the-radar millions of dollar industry. We're super thrilled to have you on the podcast today to tell us all the dirty secrets. And the book is called Carts, in Hebrew, Agalot.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for joining us.
Hi, how are you?
We're doing
great.
good. So tell us a bit, I guess, give us like the beginning. How did you end up in the United States?
Sure. Can I first start with an apology about my English because I'm so excited to be here. So I guess there's going to be a bit of whatever. So just forgive me. Good. So my story was a bit different because I actually went there after my first degree. I was 26 and I studied political science and communication, and I had basically nothing to do with it. Like I graduated and I was like, what am I going to do?
No history in selling stuff.
What? I'm sorry?
No history in selling things.
No, not at all. And my parents, I come from a family of 7 sisters and civilians, you say, I guess? Whatever.
Siblings,
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, you see?
All good.
So they didn't have the money to pay for my studies or my trip, whatever. So I understood that I really have to take care of myself. And I said, okay, I'm going to think about it in Mexico. Smart decision, I know. And I took a loan from the bank. I went to Mexico.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that was I guess the first mistake. I don't know if it's a mistake today, but you have this feeling here in Israel that you really have to run away for a second and like see what's going on there. Just to
like we talked in the intro, actually. That's
right.
Exactly that.
Right. And back at the time I did have a job at Moked, you have to translate
like a call
me.
center.
Yeah. And I remember it was 24 shekels per hour.
Which is roughly
Wow, it's like $7.
Yeah, something like that. So when I got to Mexico, I quit it. And then I did like an irresponsibly trip of 6 months from Mexico to Panama. I took like more money. I don't know. I talk now to myself back at the time and like, what were you doing? But I don't know. I did it because I knew that if I go back to Israel, it's going to be too complicated for me. And I'm gonna
In a way, you were running away.
not in a way. I was running away.
Okay.
Yeah, literally. And then it was December 4th, and I got a phone call. I had a Wi-Fi, and I got a phone call from a guy called Israel, and he used to work in my bank. He was like the bank, whatever, representative or whatever. Now, he knew me because I come from the Golan Heights. It's a very small place. So he told me, okay, your minus, your overdraft is like, it's 30,000 shekels.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Like $8,000.
And he was like, okay, come back and fix it. I know your mom. Let's don't make any more troubles. And I was like, okay, I have the visa for the United States. I'm in Panama now. It's Christmas time, like, coming up. I'm going to try. Like, I don't know anything about sales, but I had a friend from high school there.
Wait.
You knew about the Dead Sea cards. You had a friend who was
Yeah.
working in it, and she told you, come.
Yeah, everybody knows about it. I guess, like, the big question is, are you really making money there? Because you
And
don't...
will I get arrested? Right?
Right. But at first you don't...
get to
Yeah.
Because you had just to make it in this manner.
Clear.
You had a visa, a
Right.
tourist visa,
A tourist
not
visa.
a work, not a green card.
A tourist visa. But I looked at it and I said, okay, it's for 10 years. It's been only 2 years. I have 8 more years to spend. I didn't even give one thought about, is it legal? Can I sell stuff? And I remember, like, my biggest issue was, am I going to be good at it? Like, is it going to work for me? Because I cannot take any more risks. And then I got there. I didn't speak any English. I got to South Carolina. And it's... what?
I'm from the South. South Carolina. I mean, I'm from South Carolina. I'm from Alabama.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of home to me.
Yeah, we
Okay.
used to sing a lot I think it's Alabama, something like that. The song about
Sweet Home
whatever.
Alabama?
Sweet Home Alabama.
yeah,
And the other one, Home is Wherever I'm With You. It also says Alabama somewhere there.
Yeah, Alabama.
yeah,
American
Right.
song.
So speaking about homes, I really felt at home there.
How come?
You get to this small apartment that everybody has to take care of each other.
Like
I
a
guess,
kibbutz.
like a kibbutz. And talking about the army, I guess there is something similar because everybody is your competitor, but your mom and dad as well in the same person. You go to the mall at 10. Well, depends on the hours, but usually it's 10 to 9. And you're standing on your feet and you don't get any, like, you work commission only.
Yeah.
So you have to feel good. You have to be happy, really. You have to, I don't know, live on your energies.
That's the time, I think, to
so-
put Eitan out of the closet.
I actually, after the army,
Okay.
for I don't know what reason, because I'm an American with American citizenship, I went back to the States and worked in the Dead Sea carts for a year.
Oh, my God.
So a lot
Where?
of this is kind of like,
Yeah.
it touches a sensitive spot.
We're
How-
opening
how
the
did you
wound.
feel? How
Huh?
did you feel there?
I wasn't very good at it, but I can probably relate to a lot of the kind of struggles and like
You have
the
hilarious
challenges and the stuff that you faced. But I wasn't good at it at all. Like I didn't manage to make the money that everybody makes there, which is something that I want to talk to you about. But I think we first want to get kind of so that our listeners understand what we're even talking about, because
Okay.
I'm sure most of you know what Dead Sea carts are, but give us a day kind of, okay, so it's zero commission. It's all kind of what you sell.
It's run
right?
by Israelis, the business.
all run by
It's all
Israelis.
run by Israelis.
Shady Israelis?
I met all kind of them, but the first place I got, they were like mom and dad for me. Like they were really good to me, and we're still good friends till today. What happens? Oh, sorry.
No. So
Okay.
I want to get to the kind of like
Good. So
what
yes,
happens. Yeah.
good.
So you
So you go to the mall at the morning.
Yeah.
You have all kind of products. Now they're all good products. I
Uh-huh.
mean, the base, like the
You don't
big-
need to sell it to us.
No, I know. I sell it to me like what, because in 10 minutes we're gonna get to how do we became monsters. So that's what I remember, that when I first got there and I used, the peeling gel for the face, and then those boxes with the salt from the Dead Sea, the real Dead Sea. So you use all of them and you see that they're really good and they work for you. And then you start to believe that like the Dead Sea is just incredible place and that it worth any money. The secret about the cards is that any product has a minimum price. It doesn't have a maximum price. Let's say that you have I don't know, an aftershave. So me, Tal, I work now at the car, so I know that this product cannot leave less than $20, let's say. So if just regular customer come to me and how much is it, I can tell him it's 40, but it's on sale today, so it's buy one get one. That's the classic one. If he's, I don't know, if he's Jewish and it's cheap, so I'm like, no, it's on half price, you can take in 20. But the machine won't give me to sell it on less than 20.
But the art is to see the person and immediately read what's his price.
Right.
That's the art.
Right. And you need to be brave, because you're not going to get big sales from $20 of aftershave. So you have to really believe that this worth $100, let's say. Believing, like,
Faith, religion.
So you have to before you lie to them, lie to yourself.
Right? And I started.
Oh my God, this is getting so dark, and we're only in 11 minutes. Okay.
But I guess at the beginning it was really fun, and we had a lot of customers that they came back to us, and like, it's all based on true stories. Like, I used to talk a lot about the army. There was a Navy base next to us, and all the time I was like, so how do you do it? Like, in our army, you have to do this and then that, and then you have 4 months away, and then and we really became friends. Like, we used to go out together, and so we loved our customers.
With the customers? You used to go out with the customers?
Not all of them, but I mean, our whole life was there. So we had a lot of soldiers there, customers, and they always have a lot of money, and they always need to send something home. Like, I don't know, my mom turns 50, I have to get her something. Bam, $400. And then you go out with him, like, and you...
On a date?
There were some stories, yeah, I guess. Yeah, they
but
liked
otherwise
us.
just as friends.
Yeah.
Also, you would go out as friends with some of the clients.
Yeah, right.
So, but to get us back to it, because we haven't really... So sometimes you would sell like a 20... I mean, sometimes I would also... so I'm not trying to like, put the spotlight on you. Even though I never managed to, but it wasn't for lack of wanting. Like, I always wanted to, but I just was
just
unable
a failure.
to. I was bad at selling. But but like the Israelis that were there managed to. Sometimes it's a $40, just so the listeners understand. Sometimes it's a $20 or $40 product that you end up selling for $100, $200, $300. And basically you're marking it up like, almost 1,000% sometimes. And this is how everybody's making so much money, right?
Yes.
And you actually managed to do pretty well. Like, it was...
Yes, because at some point, and that's the real secret, you have the anti-aging products. Now, in Hebrew, there is saying, like, nobody could stop the time. It's a bit dirtier than this in Hebrew. So we really believe that we can stop the time. Now, if it's an aftershave, you have to be really, out of your mind to pay $200 for it. But if you're a woman that used to be super pretty and feel comfortable about her body, and then she starts to have puffiness under the eyes, and then something really makes it better, and if she gets to believe it that this is gonna stop her age, she's gonna pay any price for it. Now, we had products that this is what they do. I don't know. I really don't know to say if it's really makes the change. But I do know that 2 minutes after you put it only on one eye, so the puffiness goes away.
Yeah. It's not the fountain of youth, though.
Right.
But okay, so I got 2 questions. What is the biggest sale that you ever made? And also, afterwards, we'll get to kind of like what was the most like...
Bizarre?
Not bizarre, but like the most difficult, like the one that you kind of stuck with you guilt-wise. Because you write about that in the book.
It's the same one. It's actually, I don't know if it's the same one, but I'll tell you what.
Okay.
First, and in the book, it's more about the dynamics between the people and the impossible love stories like inside the apartment, because we'll get to it, but you have to do anything that will help you sell better tomorrow. I was religious when I got there, and then I don't know, 1 month or 2 months later, I started to work on Saturdays because that's the biggest money. And I started to eat any kind of meat because I'm not gonna have time now to go and buy like any boundaries or limits. I don't know what's the right
Both.
that you put to yourself. If it's between you and the money now, so it doesn't exist. Like you cross it. And it happened to me in many, many things, like on a relationship that I got in. Like here in Israel, I would never let anybody treat me like that, but I needed it. And on religion-wise, like it was hard. And the thing that I think that now today I regret it the most is that my brother got married and I missed it because I knew that if I'm going to go and come back,
You'll lose.
I'm gonna lose, yeah, because I'm on a tourist visa. Now it's crazy because he told me, look, I don't judge you, but if you put $1 million in front of me, I wouldn't miss your wedding. But your priorities are
Fucked
first is money, and then second to 10 money. You don't have any family, friends,
You
whatever.
could be like, look, man, you're my brother, but I have 6 more, so what's
Right.
just one
Yeah,
man
it was something like that. So that's about what happened to me personally. And that besides great experiences and like having good friends and like crazy parties and
But the
whatever.
highest sale, what he asked.
Now, the highest sale, it was a woman, her name was Ketty. And she, I feel a bit, I'm not proud of it, okay? If you meet me on the street, I regret about it now. It was $14,000. Now, what happened with her
Oh my
is
God.
that she was sick and then she wasn't sick anymore. Like she was after her recovery. And she came to the mall just, to feel like a woman again and stuff like that. And we really got connected. I mean, every good lie is based on a good truth. So something of her made me miss my mom more. And I told her that my mom is so far away. And I told her about the guy I'm in love with. And like, she really helped me. She gave me good advices. And we got, I can't say friends in 30 minutes, but something felt close.
It all lasted 30 minutes.
Roughly. Maybe, yeah, roughly. Now, she said that she want to make, or maybe it was my idea, to make a skincare party to her friends with all kinds of products, the aging products, of course, and to bring the Dead Sea to them. Like she got we sell one small box for like $100. So she took, I don't know, 20 or 30 of them. I think it was my idea, like to celebrate her recovery like that. Like that's going to be your party. And I remember that I told myself, if it's not going to be on my kiosk, it's going to be an American Eagle or whatever. But she became here to celebrate this thing. She came here for this. All I need to do is like magneting, can you say? Just bring her to my place. Yeah. And I don't know if she did use it or if she did do the party, but it came on 14,000. I think you feel extremely something, extremely good, extremely bad, and extremely adrenaline. You know that it's immoral, but you feel like you just jumped a bungee, like, because you really made it.
How much of the 14,000 ends up in your pocket?
About 30%. That's also, it's a thing that Israelis are doing, and it's really interesting. You start from, it depends on your company, but you could start on 20% or 25%. And then if you get to $1,000 like daily, so then it comes retro to 30%, whatever. But they really used it to get us more motivated or to punish us. Mm-hmm. Like, the thing is,
it's like a sick reality show in a way.
Right. And then, like, a good behavior there, it's like, wow, they're gonna be my friends forever. But if somebody wants to treat you bad, so it's the worst. Like,
For example?
I'm trying to think. Okay, when my brother got married, so the day was really, really hard for me. I couldn't regret. And I remember that my manager took me to Panera Bread and he knew what I like to eat. He was with me the whole day. I didn't work. Then we went to the pool. Like, I felt like adopted. And in other company that I work after that, then I got to really bad things. Like if people get late to work, then they, how do you call it? Knas?
They get fined.
They get fined.
Yeah.
And then I wanted to go to Mexico after Christmas. They wanted me to stay because I made good money. So I had, like, the money, you don't save it in your place because it's dangerous. So the boss has it. So they were like, if you go now, so you have to get fined because then we lose money because you go before. And it's, you know that you're the bottom of the food chain. And there is nothing you can do, like, because they're legal. Their company is signed here, and they do have the social security number or whatever. They work here, and it's fine. And you're not.
Yeah, but if you're a salesman, that's, I mean, yeah, in the end, they really do have the power because of the whole legal issue. But if you're a salesman that's making, $14,000 sales, I'm not sure. I'm sure it's not on a regular basis, but still, you're making good sales. You still have some power, or is it just that there's like endless good salesmen that are lined up to take your job?
No, you do have the power, and
they don't want to lose you.
They don't want to lose you, so they treat you good. But then you start not to trust anyone. Like, people love you because you make a lot of money, and then you start asking yourself, do they love me or do they love the money I make for them? And you don't really have time to think about it or to digest the stuff that are happening to you because everything's just happening. And then when it's Christmas time, it's crazy because you can work 15 hours because the malls are opening like crazy hours. And you don't want to miss it. So everything gets extreme.
There's something that you mentioned once about the population that ends up in the mall and in your cart. Right, at least for you, I think you said it was more African Americans.
Well, it depends. There was both. Like in this, I mean, there were different malls also that we worked in, but you have all kinds of populations. But I mean, there were like the low socioeconomic, and they were kind of like the people you would sell the nail kits to, or the salts to, or at the $20 range. And then there was the higher end products that you would sell to like the old Southern ladies that you saw with kind of a Louis Vuitton purse, and you knew they were there to spend money.
And just for the record, the African American ladies love daytime.
Oh yeah,
they love daytime.
It was fun to sell because they had such colorful personalities.
Right. My best stories and my best memories were the lowest sales. And we had a lot of fun there. Like at the book, it's like the complication that you can really have an extraordinary, you say, day, and at the same time to suffer. And it's like I think what I tried is to say things about what's good and bad and what happens when it's everything on the same person or in the same experience. And
in the end, I think, I mean, for me at least, it was just like an excruciating period because you're forced to lie on a day-to-day basis. Just every day you wake up in the morning and you have to lie. Because even if you're even if you're selling the product in the beginning, even if you're selling the product at the end for $20, it's like premised with a series of lies because there's no way you're not going to try to sell it for 40 and then 2 for 20, which you don't have to.
Not even the price, even the story that you tell. I'm gonna give you the simplest example. People love sales and they want to feel I think it's universal. Like everybody knows to feel that he made a good deal. So we used to say, if we saw that I cannot sell it for more than $30-40, but I thought, why would I give you the discount? Like, if you're a stranger and we didn't make any contact, so what? I'm going to cut you the price for half? No. You have to come up with a good story. So you as a customer feel that you're making a good deal, and I just try that I.
Yeah.
So.
But in the end, that's what makes you, because like
we used to say, for example, I'll tell you what, I have my voucher for my birthday because it's this month, but I use all the products like at my apartment, so I'm not gonna use it.
But if we try to break this down, I wonder where exactly is the line, right?
What do you mean?
The line of morality. Because we in day-to-day life, we encounter many, you get a phone call. Okay, maybe the price isn't flexible, but they will try to shove you things you don't need with lies, right? Or when you order the guy to fix your AC. Or when you go to the freaking garage, right? And they tell you, oh, this is broken and this is broken. So I wonder what exactly is immoral about it? You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the point, like, of my experience and of course my book, because it starts legit. Like, I mean, that's when you go to Zara, I don't know how do you guys call it?
Clothes shop.
Okay, and you buy a dress for $300. It didn't cost $300 to them.
It cost like $1.
Right. So
the slavery of Chinese
we used
girls.
to say and think like we sell the experience. Like that, I think
Ethan has a devious smile on his face.
that I think what what helped us sleep well is like, let's imagine a woman, a Jennifer. So she has money and she's married, and we're guessing that the husband doesn't give her the attention that she wants. And then she meets this incredibly handsome Israeli guy with broken English, and he gives her a show. Like 20 or 40 minutes or an hour.
It makes her feel nice feelings.
yeah, but
And then that's feeling worth $1,000, let's say. That's what we used to say to ourselves. It's not about the product. Many times it happened that after the sale, the customer opens the box and he's like, what did I just buy? What did I just buy?
Yeah, no, but I mean, that's a rationalization. Like it's not true, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. I'm just saying that
it's the way, like you said, it's the way that you sleep in the end. But
and that's the way that you go tomorrow to sell
work.
higher.
Yeah. Because in the end, with Zara, like the dollar dress, I mean, there's a fixed price, and you can decide. And I'm not,
So
I'm not even.
That's my question. So it's the flexibility of the price, because if that's your issue, I could give you examples about when it's, it can be flexible. And
First of all, it's the flexibility of the price, but there's just no doubt denying that there's a lie that's happening. And you can't, I mean...
But in Zara, there's a lie as well.
No, there's not.
This dress is not worth it.
What do you mean it's not worth it? I'm not saying that the person spending the money was coerced into spending his money. No one forced him to spend his money. And that I won't put on anybody, like not me and not you. We didn't steal his money.
Right.
But we lied. And Zara isn't lying. It doesn't matter.
Apple is lying.
Apple
is lying.
Worth is defined by you. Is it
Facebook
worth it?
Facebook is lying.
I think that the point is who has the control. When I go to Zara and I say, okay, it's expensive, they lied to me and the carts lied to me, like both of them. But as salespeople, we had so much power. Like really, we if it's a good sale, the person gets hypnotic. Can you say it?
Hypnotized.
Hypnotized.
Yeah, because in the end of the day, to sell is to manipulate. It's manipulation. Branding is manipulation. Commercial is manipulation. It's an industry of manipulation. The difference is here you are face to face with the manipulator, but with Apple, the manipulator, is in his ivory tower somewhere manipulating you, and it's
no. I'm sorry. I don't think Zara or any other retail company out there, is abusing its customer base.
Wait. What's abuse? Why you use this word?
Because
now?
when you lie to someone, you abuse them,
Wow.
I think.
But don't they lie?
No,
Don't they lie?
Come on, guys.
They lie.
It's
They
a
lie?
rationalization to say that that selling the Dead Sea stuff, and this is what I'm talking about. In the end, you have to come face to face with it. And I did it, and really, I feel like bad about all the sales that I made.
How do you live with yourself?
I never sold I never sold 14,000. I sold the highest I was, and really, it's just because I couldn't. I would have if I was jealous of the people who were selling 14,000.
After 3 years, our audience discovers Eitan has more.
But the most I ever sold was $1,600, and it was like I was on top. I was on
Which
top
is
of the
a
world.
lot.
I was like, woo! It was amazing. But
I feel like you.
yeah,
dude.
but it's you have to in the end realize it's a rationalization to compare that to what corporations do
Why?
when they
What's
price.
the difference between that and Apple selling the fucking?
We can have a conversation of an hour about it, but if you can't see it at face value, come on.
No, the differences are no one in Apple would stop you and like, hey, can I get you a sample of whatever?
So what? But they do when they put this shopping center in the middle of New York. That's the equivalent to me, and they do all that branding and all these commercial. So it's much more sophisticated.
It's sophisticated.
But it's, to me, in the end of the day, it's the same thing. What a look I'm getting
no,
here.
no,
Wow.
because if you go to Apple, you decide at the end of the day if you want to buy it or not. And
No,
if
the
you
seller
and
approaches
if
me.
you accidentally stopped by my car, I'm gonna be the one in control.
No, you're not. That's the
I
thing. I
think-
don't agree with that because you're not controlling their mind. They in the end decide to dish out
It can be manipulated. But a realtor also manipulates you when you go with him to see some houses.
Right. Let's imagine that there were no selling people that weren't exist. Like, would the word exist? Let's say that anything would have a price on it and you'd decide if you want it or not.
Yeah, robots.
Robots, no commercials, no that's on sale today.
We wouldn't
So
buy
first of
anything.
all, I would say one of the biggest points is we had Premier Products, which is kind of like a well-known,
Yeah, we had
well-established Dead Sea brand. Premier. It's like Frenchy, and it supposedly has some Dead Sea salts in it. But
Oh, wow. Okay.
but you get what I'm saying. But we had also products that I think were called Vivo, which I don't even know if
Vivo,
it's.
I guess, sounds familiar. Okay.
Yeah, but and I highly doubt. First of all, there was this nail kit. I mean, we were fed, and tell me if this is just me, but we were fed a load of crap. Like I'm sure that there was. And we bought it willingly and we probably knew it was crap. But like, I never stopped to ask the question whether how much Dead Sea products are in this. Does this really cure eczema? I mean, I told that about everything. Just holding this bottle of lotion would cure your eczema. Like it was like Jesus Christ, and it's a lie. And that is the point. Is that like I guess it's the like. How blatant the lie is also.
There was also a story about toys that you sold. You knew someone.
No, it was in the mall. There was maybe they did this around with you guys in the mall that you were working, but there was always the carts that would pop up for Christmas and they would sell a bunch of stuff and then boom, December
Vanish.
26th they would disappear. Did you ever have that?
Yeah, I had, right.
Yeah.
And then they
The
would
Dead
sell
Sea usually
faulty-
the Dead Sea was usually on a different method because they were
Right.
constantly making
Right.
money.
We still had our picks, but yes.
Yeah.
But I think how far would you go with your lie? That what makes the difference. Like if you tell someone that's on sale today, it's buy one get one, and it's not really on this sale. Okay, no one would die. And if you tell him it's gonna cure your eczema, okay, that's one worse. But if you tell him, I don't know, if you tell him a great story about your grandma that just died this morning, and actually it's crazy because I'm here because of her, because she used to take me to the Dead Sea and I was screaming because it hurts when you get inside, but look at my skin now. That's because of the Dead Sea. So look, you're not gonna go to Israel now. It's $1,600, whatever, the ticket. But I'm gonna save it to you. You have it here in a box. Is that a lie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know that when I tried to sell my book, I had a funny story. I had 5 minutes to do the presentation to all the editors of the publishment that I wanted to get into. So I had just 5 minutes to talk about my book. So I started like, "Hi, my name is Tal," and then I was like, "I'm sorry, my head is not here today because my grandma just died this morning. So sorry if I'm not like speaking what I wanted to say." They got super embarrassed, all of them. And then I said, "But my grandmother wanted me to write this book and she was the whole idea behind it. That's why I decided to come here. And I'm just gonna want to read you one page of the book and that's it. And I'm sorry." And then the page was like, "Do anything that will help your sale. And if it's necessary, feel free to say that your grandma just died. And you're here because of her, blah, blah, blah."
Wow, that's so good.
And they felt, I don't know, cheated. But I said, okay, that's what's the book about. Because you did feel the empathy. Like you did feel that, oh my God, crazy girl.
But it's fake.
Poor girl. But it's fake.
It's built on a lie.
No, in the basic, it built on a truth. Like
no.
when I talked about when I talked about my grandma, let's say, so I did what I really miss about her. Like she did die 10 years ago, but she did die. So if you wanna have a good lie, you have to base it on a true story and on a heart story.
Yeah. That's a good way to lie, but it's
Right.
a lie.
I have to ask though, why Israelis are in carts? Why Israelis? Why not Chinese people or Cambodians?
I would separate your question to two. First is, why do they get there from the first place? What brings them there? And second, what makes them be so good at it?
Okay.
So I think like if Israel gave you more opportunities, so many people would stay like after the army. If I don't know, if it was easier here to make a living, so we wouldn't need it. Like I thought about it before I came here, that in Hebrew there is a saying, to close the month, which I don't know how to say it in English.
Make ends meet in the end of the month.
Yeah,
ends
that
meet.
to pay your bills and then have more than zero in your
Paycheck
account.
to paycheck.
Right. But here we all use it because it's hard. I'm 32 now and I rent an apartment in Tel Aviv. I'm not going to go back to the cart, but it's super, super hard. So for the first place, you know that you have an opportunity to change your life and to start from a good point and
Or at
to
least
help.
that's the dream they sell.
Right. And to help your parents and stuff like this. So that's to begin with. And when you get there, I think because you're so far away from home and you don't have the perfect American politeness, can you say like, so you're in Hebrew, I would say you're suiciding on it. Like you kill it. Because nobody sees you. Nobody can say, "Hey, I know you. You're the sister of blah, blah."
But what makes us so good? What is it about us that makes us so good at it?
I guess we know to recognize the potential of a place. Like any place that there's money, some carts will just burn there. Like the Israelis, like the big bosses, I guess they know, like they're good on sales. That not what I said. Like it's something that I guess was here before me. But once you're there, you already lost so much that you really have to win this. I mean, you miss things at home, you miss weddings, you miss your nephews, you're tired, you're fat, you eat all day, like so the only thing that you have is the money, so you just have to take it.
I think they're like from the sociological perspective. Like there's a truth to the sense that it's kind of it takes two to tango. Like I think Israelis recognized American consumerism, and in that sense, yeah, it's like they want to be sold the lie. Americans just want to spend their money. Like there's a lot of money. They're really well off, and they want to spend it, and they want to buy stuff, and they want to feel good about the what they bought, and it's a status symbol. So Israelis are there to
help them.
Yeah, but I think on an individual level, it's like you don't want to be part of it. You know, it's like
All right.
because it's
So your book is a novel.
It is, right.
Give us the short synopsis.
Yes. So
The protagonist is named Tal or something?
no, her name is Nita.
Okay.
You know, I tried to not to base it on me, but I failed. So like on the most hurt part, like it's things that based on what happened to me, and she gets to the cards after like being on very serious relationship that got her super bored, and she gets there and she's like, but I'm gonna be a doctor, like I'm gonna sell everything that I know. Like, you know, she's studying what's any product do, and like she really wants to prove that you can be a good person and still making it there. And she falls in love in like a very abusing relationship, but because everything is like in the small apartment, and you have like she doesn't stop to examine it, like to see if it's good for her or not. So they have super funny parts, and like they go party and they do some stuff together, and then things get worse. Like there's immigration, and then there's the boss that is not that good as he look, and when she really wants to come back home, she can't, because she becomes a monster and she sells more than anyone else there. And she talks to her brother back in Israel, and he's like, look, I don't recognize you. Like, what happened to my sister? What did you do to her? And then at the end, I cannot tell you because I really want you to read the
spoilers.
book.
I gotta ask one more question. What did you learn in your days there that you still implement in your day-to-day life?
Sorry, again.
What did you learn in your days in cards that you still use in your day-to-day life?
Good. It's a lot of... They say it about the army as well. Like, it's a really, really tough experience. That many jobs here in Israel, it looks like peanuts to me. Now, I remember that, like, when you get to an interview here in Israel and they tell you, but you're going to have to work hard. And you think to yourself, but then I get back home. Like, nobody owns me. Like, I can go to the beach. I can go see my parents. Like, I think any other job that I'm going to do from now on would be easier. But mostly I learned what I don't want to be.
Which
like,
is?
What I want to find now. I don't know, like, if I ever find it, but I really want to find a job that I'm going to be happy about it, and I'm going to make my good salary and still be a good person. And to find it here in Israel. And if I will ever find it, I'll let you know.
Write a book about it.
Yeah, maybe the next one.
So where can we find the book? Is it online? Is it?
It's in Hebrew for now, right?
It's in Hebrew for now.
So maybe a shout out if someone liked what he heard or she heard and would like, because translating books to English, it costs a fortune. Okay. But if we have a listener who is interested in helping Tal, then they can hit her up. Where? How?
Okay, so the publishment called Modan, Modan, and that's a very famous one and an incredible one apparently in Israel. So you could get it online if you read Hebrew, or maybe...
But if someone wants to help you translate, like sponsor translation, how can they contact you for
They have to contact the publish house because
Okay.
because they published my book,
Okay,
so
fair enough.
They have rights.
they have the rights, and I'm happy about it because I really didn't know what I'm doing, so I'm getting in a good
Okay,
place.
so hopefully there will be an English translation someday.
I was one of my purpose when I started, because I said I want them to know how it looks from our side.
Uh-huh. I think this can go really well.
Yeah,
In
because I think
America.
every American knows it, like from firsthand experiences. Every American's been in the mall and has been approached by some Israeli who's like, "Do you do your nails naturally?"
Yeah. Yeah,
So I think
right.
it could be a really good. I think it would be a great like series. Like Netflix should do
Yeah.
a series.
That's my biggest dream, but I'm afraid even to imagine it. When the book took 4 years to write, and then it's really, really hard to get to the publishment company. Like I got denied by one, and then to the second one I got in. And I couldn't believe it when they called me. Like I was at the office and I was screaming like crazy. There were investors all around and I was screaming there like I didn't really care. And then I was like, okay, one dream is done. Let's hold on for a second and then we see what's the next step. So of course that's what I really, really want. But I've got far like for now. So I'm trying to be happy about what I have.
Okay,
That's great.
I'm still waiting for the series.
Okay.
So before we go, we have a collaboration with the Jewish Journal. They're jewishjournal.com. They have podcasts. They have columns. You should really check them out, and like them on Facebook as well.
And we accept donations, guys. So we do this on our free time. So if you want to throw a few shekels our way, 2njb.com/donate.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank
for
you.
It
joining
was
us.
amazing. Thank you.
It was really
Bye.
great.
Good
Thanks,
luck.
guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.